You're probably wondering, what the hell is this, and where is the Tui video? To answer the latter, I did not anticipate just how much I'd have to say about Tui, and didn't want the wait between videos to be too long, which leads into my answer to the former. This is Dynamite Headdy, a Sega Genesis platformer made by Treasure and released in the summer of 1994. I played this game a lot as a kid. In my Rise Star video from a few years back, I mentioned playing Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, which exposed me to a lot of Genesis classics at such an early age. And considering the fact that was one of the only games I had to play at the time, and it gave me further exposure to Sonic, safe to say I put a lot of time into the various titles on offer. I think I also mentioned Dynamite Headdy in that video, so I was bound to make a video on it eventually. This game is really cool. You play as a puppet named Headdy that can shoot his head at enemies to destroy them and use his mouth to grab onto these pulleys to launch himself around. Graphically, this is as good as a late Genesis release gets. Every level is super colorful and has a lot of things going on. Seriously, the first 10 minutes of this game is so chaotic. After Headdy gets rejected from this machine and breaks out of the robot transporting him and others to an incinerator, the set piece where Headdy and the other puppets are making a run for it is filled with loud explosions from missiles hitting the ground, extremely well animated backgrounds, and this robot you can destroy that's then followed by this motherfucker. He's not a hard fight or anything, but you'll soon learn that this dude is fucking persistent on getting in your way. The tutorial area is a lot of fun. Headdy can shoot his, head in 8 directions depending on where you're holding the D-pad, and I remember sucking at this minigame when I was a kid, but here, I did really well. The little angel puppet yelling target filled me with immense nostalgia though. Honestly, if I had to describe the moment-to-moment gameplay, it's like Kirby if that series was more linear and less focused on puzzle solving. See, our boy Headdy here can swap his heads out temporarily for different ones that do different things, from ones that make his head out of metal to do more damage, or ones that make his head out of metal but large and ugly, forcing you to crawl. A pain in the ass, cause Headdy is durable but not that durable. It don't take much to kill him. If you're too careless, it can easily end in your demise, and this power-up speeds that up immensely. Though there are some other very useful ones, like the ones that fires off stars that make it to where the common soldier or evil puppet doesn't stand a chance, or this one that splits your single head into 3 to cover a wider area. I also liked whatever this one is. It just surrounds you in these energy orbs that completely shreds the environment. Of course, we got situational heads like the one that shrinks you down to creep through passageways, and the invisible head that makes you, invisible. You can pass through otherwise hazardous objects, useful when your health pool can feel so low. I really like how they commit to the puppet show play theme. Every level is built on a set and your health is shown by a spotlight slowly going out. Like dude, the levels are all so creatively made. You can usually see the wood and metal beams the stage is built out of, as well as the cables holding up different platforms. And the levels that have you going backstage briefly are mostly fun mobs. You know what, let's talk about the level design. Immediately I can see what drew me into this game when I was like 5. Colorful game, cool explosions, initially easy going enough level design. For some reason the first level's name is a Boys in the Hood pun. A little random, but that is an amazing movie. Anyways, level is fun, introduces you to actual danger and a few power-ups, and it has the first bonus hat in it, I'm gonna call it. Well, it makes more sense to call it a bonus head, but I digress. If you see this B icon before you smack this little guy, you can play a basketball minigame that I still don't fully understand. There are different symbols on the baskets, but look, I'm playing this on an emulator with an Xbox 360 controller. Getting specific on where I aim Headdy's head is difficult, so my go-to strategy is just smack the balls upwards and pray, which got me through the first round of this, but the next time I found one and it asked me to make some more baskets with a more difficult scrolling layout, yeah, I quickly gave up on that shit. You're supposed to do these to get a secret number code that you can input at the end of the game, but it looks like I'll never know what's behind this safe. Maybe it's Headdy's neck, who knows. Regardless, the rest of the level is fine. Didn't fuck with this dragon fight, but you can skip it if you take the slower route using the mini head to shrink yourself. It'll take you straight to the next area where you fight the first boss where... oh my god, he's back again. So you smack the dog's tail, kill it, meet your love interest, and move on to the next stage. Genuinely, a fine first level, it's cool. The next set of stages have this cool Genesis 3D effect I like seeing whenever it's used, and I like the challenge of positioning yourself to hit these flying soldier guys who are dropping bombs while avoiding these rolling orange things. But then, yo, this guy just won't fucking quit. And he's dragging me backstage, slamming into the floor and the ceiling. What a dick. I do like this fight, but after it's over, you immediately have to fight this clown puppet that controls another puppet with strings that then turn into whips that he can use to snatch your head off your shoulders. A pretty cool fight. But then you gotta fight the mannequin, and right here. Remember when I said earlier that if you're not careful, you can die fairly easily. From this point onwards, the enemies and bosses can hit like a truck with a driver off his driving juice and really fuck your shit up. It only gets worse from this point on, but we'll get there. So then there's the Sunset Town level, a genuinely gorgeous stage, and I love the water effects when you open up this fountain, and the backstage segment was pretty fun. Can't forget the men in the background getting their reps in. They're holding this whole place together, I see. You push forward through some nice platforming challenges, and then it turns out your love interest already beat the boss, so you just move on to the next area, the Puppet Tower. Okay, I think this area is cool, especially with the 3D spinning effect. That's nice. But here this motherfucker go again. Asshole is taking whole chunks out of the tower just to try to kill you, and at first I couldn't tell if I had to outlast him or beat him. Some mini bosses don't have health bars like actual bosses do, so it's hard to tell at points. But after I bested him, again, you go inside the tower and climb up. Again, cool set piece, didn't mind the mini boss here, I actually really like his name, the Armadillo, that's cute. But once you're at the top, you're fighting this thing, Spinderella. Again, an adversary that hits like a ton of fucking bricks. I actually game over to this guy. I initially didn't want to use save states because I figured, you know, I could handle this game. I've played it before. But after getting a game over and having to play the entire game over again, that quickly went out the fucking window. I got a Japan trip coming and I want to upload beforehand, so RetroArch saved my ass. After I make it back to where I was, because I genuinely played this far without save states. Ooh, my dick is so big. Regardless, I made it back, gawked at the cool 3D spin effect, beat Spinderella, and now the game is on full dickhead mode. Everything now does obnoxious damage. I messed up and didn't get footage of the side-scroller shooter section in the sky, but trust me, half of that footage was me dying to wherever the fuck this thing is supposed to be. Fuck this guy. I then get manhandled by this robot, and after using the bomb power to wreck his shit, oh my god, dog, give it a rest, dude. You make your way through this rocket section where again, getting tapped by these missiles will tear you a new asshole, so avoid them at all costs. But once you destroy the person launching them, you push through, fight the sun, traverse the tricky platforming section until you make your way to this room where everything flips once you activate these switches, which of course there's a boss that uses this mechanic, and of course he hits like killing you will pay his bills, and after overcoming all of that, you mean you're running with me from a problem you created and you're dragging me down? Get off! Jesus, finally at the end, and the Dark Puppet Master looks like a guy who somehow bought a Gilgamesh cosplay from Party City. This boss fight is annoying too. You have to be so precise with your movements to not immediately die to his attacks that are telegraphed through the color on his little orb, so at least it's not completely random like I thought, but some of these moves you have a split second to pick the right power up from the spinning reel around you to actually have a chance to avoid damage. This fucking laser attack, man, you don't hit the tiny head power up, you're just fucked. And this thing does like half your health in one shot. It's insane. I'm sure this orb attack can be timed out well to jump over, but I never got the pattern and would always take 1 or 2 hits from him and his minions. Well, they aren't too bad, but you can usually get the star or triple head and deal with them quite easily. But this ceiling crush attack, fuck! You have to be so fast, it's insane. But after you defeat him, the game ends and Hetty doesn't even get a kiss from this girl puppet he's been eyeing this whole game. They just go their separate ways, which is kinda funny. And of course, this motherfucker finds a way to show up even in the ending. You know what? Wouldn't be right without him there. Enjoy your head being on top of the castle. Yeah, this game's difficulty shoots way up in the second half. It's not even funny. The level design can still be fun to engage with and all, but the bosses by this point just start laying into you with the damage. But despite all of that, I still think this game is worth playing and finishing. It's for sure an experience, and a well-made one at that. Also, the music goes so hard throughout the entire game. If you don't want to play it, then at least listen to the soundtrack, it's amazing. Anyways, I just wanted to rant about this game for a bit. Despite finishing it for the first time for this video and experiencing that sharp difficulty curve near the middle that lasts at the end, This is still probably one of my favorite Genesis games, definitely underneath Rystar now after completing it. That game had a smoother difficulty curve, but I'll be damned if I didn't have fun playing this for the video. Anyways, that's all from me for today. I'll catch y'all in the Do It video. Peace. Alright boys, this is my 4th time trying to record this. First time, no audio. 2nd time, fucking crunchy audio. Sounded like really creepy. 3rd time, I'm just too tired to remember what the fuck happened. And all 3 times I yawned. And I'm about to yawn again. There we go. Again, recording this at 3 in the morning. Anyways, as always, made this far in the video. Appreciate you. Keep yourself safe. And I'm gonna prepare for my trip. I will catch you guys later. Be easy.